Alright guys, talk a little bit about these Holstein. Yeah, they're growing fast. They're eating they're getting real close to 17 pounds of grain a day. So yeah, you know, they're growing pretty good. What I have set up here is going to work for me because I got a job and I plan on finishing them. But this is a faster way to grow them, and if you're going to finish them, I think a corn diet is a better way to go versus building frame and then putting fat on. That's just me. Like I said, they're doing pretty good, but the way I raised them before, I had a big Holstein frame with no fat on it. I gave them quite a bit of grain, like 8, 9, 10 pounds, or however much they got, but they were on a different kind of feeding system and they were on pasture before. So I had a lot less money in them, but they were framier. They were what a lot of people around here call green cattle, and I don't know. You obviously have less money in them on the frame size, but I think, like I said, this isn't going to fit everybody's operation. I think that they might have, once you get to the 700 pound range, or 600 pound range, maybe even 500, I think you probably had less money per pound, I guess, is what I'm trying to get at. Without sitting here trying to tell you all my figures, I think if I sold these with all the fat and the grain that they've eaten, I wouldn't have as much. I'd have a whole lot more money in them. I wouldn't be as profitable because, well, I just don't think I'd be as profitable versus the other way. But if you plan on finishing them, I think that this is the way to go. That's just my opinion. These things look about like some of these Angus cows. And, you know, they're growing pretty good. There is quite a bit of corn in there, but it's not bad. Feed about a pound of hay. They get all the hay they want. All the water, all the slop, all the grain they want. Because everything's just set up like that. I don't know, I probably don't want to do it like that, but eventually I'd like to have a mix wagon, TMR mix. But like I said, if you plan on finishing these things, you better have a whole lot of corn and a whole lot of money. I'm finding that out the hard way. I kind of had an idea, but I really couldn't get anybody to give me a good figure on what it would cost, so I just said, you know what, I'm going to do it. And that's what I'm doing. I got to do it once to get an idea. And really, I don't think I can get a semi-trailer that hauls livestock out of here. So if I wanted to schedule a load to go to Michigan or Wisconsin, I wouldn't even be able to get him in here because it's too long of a trailer and our driveway and everything. I can load them. I got a pretty good spot where I can load. But anyway, I don't think I'm going to implant them again. Just because time, and the last time I implanted them, I had a whole lot of riding, and I think what they did was they crushed the implant, and I don't know, this is just me assuming, but I think they crushed the implant and they released all that 4 times as much as what they were supposed to have. They're doing a lot of riding, and some of these were getting wore plumb out, and they really weren't growing. I think it really knocked some of the weight gain off of them, so I don't think the implant did anything on some of them because it was hot and they were riding. So I don't think that was the right way to go. Maybe a different time to implant if I did, to maybe get a more efficient gain. But right now it's they want to get in here and eat some of this stuff, but right now it's cool out, so they're all out here just enjoying life. But what I was getting at is, some people ask about these Holstein and feeding them and everything, and I'm telling you right now, you ain't gonna get rich doing it. It's something you gotta like doing. I like one of these things. They're my pets, really. I know I had somebody comment on there a while back and said, well, I don't tag my pets, or I was like, well, I eat mine. They're just an enjoyable animal to be around, and I'm giving them a better lifestyle than what they could have had. They might have even been knocked in the head when they were born, since they were bulls. Who knows? But no, I'm not saying all dairies do that. A lot of dairies take pretty good care of them, finish them out. But I mean, what else are you gonna do with these things? This is what that's what we're gonna do with them. It's pretty bad that I can find a market for Holstein, send them to the finish house better than I can these Angus, because I would much rather send them, because of all the corn silage that I feed. This is just going to take a lot of corn, really. It's going to take a little bit of fodder, but not a whole lot, mostly corn. I might have to buy some, but like I said, a few months ago, we set a mark of 250 days to get them finished from that point on a different feeding schedule. I do have the feed man working on a feed ration where I can feed this slop. Like I told you before, it's not a big weight gaining thing. It's missing a lot of things, and a lot of it's being cooked out. If you give them a bucket of corn versus a bucket of slop, they're going to gain a lot better on a bucket of corn. So anyway, I want to try to use this feed bin here and some silage, and I'm going to work out a deal with Dad. I'll have to weigh it, of course, and figure out how much I'm using every day. But I plan on, I'm going to take all the big ones out, which most of them are all the same size anyway, but I'm going to take them out, and I'm going to feed them silage and slop. I'm going to do away with feeding it in here. It's kind of hard to hold a liquid with boards and concrete. I mean, it is possible, obviously. But I want to get started on this here in the next, we started chopping silage just a little bit green, but I'm going to try to get started on this trough here this weekend, if I can. It's kind of threatening rain right now. This trough's going right in here. I put some concrete in some of these cracks and holes and stuff. But I gotta keep these beef cows from coming up here. I've been feeding them a little bit of this slop to get rid of it, and basically, you know, it's there ain't much pasture for them to eat back there, and their calves are starting to pull on them pretty good, and they're milking pretty hard. So I've been giving them a little bit of this to keep them in shape. They probably don't need it, but not all these are all purebred Angus and all that kind of stuff. The purebreds are fat, they stay fat, but these are crossed up with all kind of stuff, so hopefully they're tough like mutts. But anyway, I got the rebar and all the lumber and everything. I checked on forms, renting some forms, and it was going to cost $400 more to use the lumber. And I thought it was pretty high to rent forms, and they get the money clear cut and free, and I got some ideas I want to use this lumber for when I get done with it. So I'm going to spray it down before we put concrete in, and I'm going to reuse it. I hate to, for some reason I just don't like renting stuff like a form or the skid steer. I didn't like renting that either. It's just seemed like too much profit for them and too much expense for me, so I thought it was a bad deal all around. But anyway, still looking at semis. Like I said, I'm going to, since I'm trying to get everything going, trying to keep one group. What I should do actually is sell this group of calves and take the Holsteins that I have back at the sow barn, and I need to finish those and have them ready to go by the end of the year or next year, or maybe next summer or something like that. That's what I should do. But in the farming world, you can't always have enough cash flow to support your new dreams. So I'm going to take out a loan, and I'm going to finish them, and I'm going to use this slop to cut costs, and that's basically all it's going to be. It's not a big time grower. The syrup is pretty good, but it takes a while to get used to it. That kind of squirt on it. It's got a lot. It's like 28% protein. But like I said, same as a dairy setup, except I'm gonna give them a whole lot of corn and just a little bit of silage. This will basically be my mix wagon with all these augers running the feed room and all that good stuff. But I'm gonna add some things, some supplements into the corn that I'm putting in there to offset the amount of slop they're gonna eat. Because like I said before, the slop is missing starch and a few other things that's been cooked out of it. And we might have some, maybe an amino grower or something added into it, like we did on the hogs, where we put an amino acid grower into the hog mix to supplement the hogs, and we cut back on bean meal. Because bean meal's high, or it was, so when you had beans at $16, obviously bean meal is going to be high. So we're just trying to cut costs, and I think I checked the hog market there the other day. It's 31 cents, so it's back like it was a couple of falls ago. It just goes way up and then goes down to where you can't really make anything, and you're working free and goes way up. It's just like the dairy, really. So I'm going to be cut back on that. Everything's like it, really, but that was a whole lot of work. Just we don't have any hired hands, so, and me not being there half the time, it's kind of too much. So I'm going with this Holstein deal. I've been doing it for a long time. I've always been around Holstein. It's probably my favorite animal on the farm, and I'm going to go with that because I can work a job and manage Holstein in a barn. I don't have to worry about them. Well, I shouldn't say that. They will get out. They can get out, but I can usually manage them better in here. Having a job and doing all that good stuff. I'll probably get flagged for this music playing. I'll let the music play for the calves, but can't see any calves right now, but they are 4 weeks. Had them for 4 weeks. It's almost time to wean. They're on a 25-20 milk mix. It's pretty good stuff. I like it once you figure out how to feed it. It's kind of a little bit hot at first, so yeah, they're all doing pretty good. They're all eating their starter. Everything's empty. A little bit. But anyway, there's a lot of flies in here. But that's basically on 2 handfuls of starter. I give them a handful in the morning, handful in the evening. I'm happy with this group of calves. Another reason for getting the loan is there's a group of calves back there. It's not big enough to satisfy the how much slop I'm going to be getting. So I need to add to it, and that's another reason. A lot of different moves going on around here. We opted to use this concrete right here because it's close to the lagoon, and I leveled this up so I can back in here and dump using gravity. I don't have to pump it. But anyway, I made a long enough video. I have to make more videos more often. But anyway, thanks for watching.